I am back. This is me, Dan97 here. Over the past couple of weeks, been very busy and been able to put as many videos as I wanted. But I am back now. I'm putting a video on about the Malaysian Grand Prix, just the race itself. First of all, I'm just going to give you the stats at the end of the race, who came where, and who didn't finish, what were the problems. So, in first and second, we had Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber. Very controversial first and second, I'll talk about that later. Third and fourth with the duo of Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. A bit controversial, again I'll talk about that later. Fifth was Felipe Massa for Ferrari, obviously his teammate went out. Number 6th and number 7th were the Lotus duo of Grosjean and Raikkonen. And 8th was Hulkenberg of Sauber. 9 was Perez of Mercedes, and 10th was Jean-Eric Vergne of the STR, Toro Rosso. Obviously picking up that last crucial 1 point. 11th, 12th and 13th was Bottas of Williams, Gutierrez of Sauber and Bianchi of Marussia. And then 14th, 15th were the two Caterhams of Charles Pic and Van der Garde. And the last of the finishers was 16th, Max Chilton, the other Marussia. We then come to the non-finishers and the retirees. In 17th, we had Button, who finished on lap 53, and obviously because of the 75% rule and all that, he was finished 17th because of a wheel problem. If you watch the replays, you can see the wheel man, as it were, putting his hand out, saying that the wheel nut wasn't fitted properly, and he had to be carted back in, unfortunately. Number 18th was Daniel Ricciardo of the Toro Rosso with an exhaust problem. And then we had 4 retirees this race. Pastor Maldonado was the latest one of the Williams with a KERS problem. Then we had the 2 Force Indias of Adrian Sutil and Paul di Resta, both finishing because of wheel nut problems. If you watch the replays, both cars had wheel nut problems on different wheels. Real terrible race for them, I find. And then at the very bottom, going out on the first lap, was Fernando Alonso after a little clash with one of the Red Bulls. His front wing went straight under the car, and that was him out. Very unfortunate for Alonso. And now I'll come to some of the highlights of the race. Obviously, the first highlight I found would be the Fernando Alonso accident, as it were, where he went off into the gravel because his front wing just went straight under the car. This happened on the first couple of corners where he ran into the back of one of the Red Bulls. Only a very minor tap, but this obviously dislodged the front nose cone and that just came off straight under his car. He went off, unfortunately. And then obviously around about halfway through we had the problems with the Force Indias. Very, not a poor race from them really, but the equipment. Whether that lies with the manufacturers of the equipment or with the actual pit crews, that's debatable. But it's a very poor result for them, I find, especially for Paul di Resta, such a great driver in my opinion. And then obviously with Jenson Button retiring as well, as I said before, as he was coming to the pits and just going out, one of the wheels wasn't properly fitted, and as he drove away, nobody seemed to notice apart from the wheelman, who put his arm up, and about 200 yards, if that, down the pit lane, he just stopped and had to be wheeled straight back, unfortunately. And then probably the highlight, or the second highlight I'd say for my race, was Lewis Hamilton, as he put in himself doing a Jensen, missing his old team of Mercedes and pulling into the wrong pit as he came in. And then the Mercedes crews beckoning him through because they obviously didn't want to lose their time because their drivers were coming in. But luckily enough, he didn't lose any time because the McLaren pit is before the Mercedes pit, so he could just pull back in again. But quite an embarrassment for him. Even his girlfriend found it quite funny. But really brightened up the race to quite a dark ending, I find. And then, as I said, we'll come to the controversies, the very dark ending of the race. We'll start with first and second. Vettel and Webber, if you look at the replays, in my personal opinion, people have different opinions of this. In my personal opinion, Vettel was in the wrong here. You look at the replays, and they were at it like cat and dog for the last couple of laps, and seeing as two teammates both fighting for the same position, it's quite stupid anyway. But as you can see in some of the replays on the last couple of laps where Vettel took the lead, when Vettel was coming down the pit straight, he had a matter of a couple of inches between himself and, on the left, Mark Webber, and on the right, a pit wall. Obviously, if you're hitting a pit wall at 190 miles an hour, you're not going to have much left of the car, and neither your teammate, really. But still, they went at, still Vettel went at it, and Webber defended, and I have to quite admirably say he defended very well until he had to give way. Even Christian Horner was saying, "This is stupid, Seb, let it go." But still, Vettel wouldn't let it go, and obviously it caused, and has caused, a bit of a feud between the team, with Webber even saying he's considering his position at Red Bull. Things have been going through his mind, he said. But in my personal opinion, Vettel was in the wrong here. He was given the team order to stay in second behind Webber, and he ignored it. And really, as a team principal, I would not have that. If they're not going to listen to the team principal, the boss, then where is the respect in this actual relationship? And then obviously we come to the less controversial part of the Hamilton and Rosberg finish, as Ross Brawn told Rosberg to stay in fourth as a team order, and Rosberg acknowledged this. He was obviously faster in the latter laps, and you could see he was getting slightly frustrated over it, that he was being held up behind Hamilton and then being told to stay behind Hamilton. And I just think this is a respectful team. Rosberg took it in. He was faster than Hamilton, and Hamilton, I found, could have just let him past. But Rosberg respected the decision, unlike Vettel. And again, this is where I think Vettel's in the wrong. He ignored the team order, and he also didn't just put. We've seen in previous races where Webber and Vettel have been at it, and one time where they clashed and sent Vettel off. And again, it's just like this. Vettel put himself in a very dangerous position there, where he could have taken both team members out, and I just find it wasn't the best decision on his part, although he has to apologise for it, which, in my opinion, and many fans can accept that, and I can, because he was in the wrong, but he has accepted that. And so this is a very short video I was going to make about the Malaysian race. Hope you liked it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Comment if you want anything doing, such as videos, shout out, anything like that. And thank you for watching.